Hello, welcome to Calabama Cooking with Chef Lorious. I'm Chef Lorious, the California girl with an Alabama flair for cooking. So glad you could join me today. Today we're making beef soup. Now it's fall time, so this is the perfect time to get out those nice warm hearty soups. And this is especially being made in collaboration with Christy's cooking channel. We're making crock pot dishes. So I'm going to show you how I make a beef soup in the crock pot. And be sure to check out Christy's channel because she's got something awesome in her crock pot as well. And you'll love other things there. She makes mega sandwiches and all kinds of fun stuff. Christy's cool. Go check out her channel, and when you do, make sure that you let them know you're from Team Calabama. Alright, and one more piece of housekeeping before we jump into our soup today. If you're already a subscriber here, thanks for coming back. If you're visiting, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell so you're notified every time there's a new video. Now on to the beef soup. Now I'm making this in the crock pot today, guys, and I have a little bit different way that I make beef soup. A lot of people use the pieces and the cut up stew pieces. I actually use a pot roast. Now I use a pot roast with no bones in it, and I like to definitely use it with a little bit of fat on it because you get that, the fat gives it some really good flavor. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Everybody does this differently. There's no right or wrong answer, but this is how I do it. I have a bowl of vegetables here that we're going to put in at a much later point. I have some herbs here, some basil and some parsley. I have some red cooking wine that I will use. And I also will be making some beef broth. And I have some different broth flavors here so you can decide which one works best for you. Okay? Now let's start with seasoning our meat. I'm going to start by taking this nice, beautiful piece of pot roast, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of an olive oil bath. Not a whole lot, just a little bit, okay? I'm going to rub that in real good, okay? See that? Just a little bit of olive oil, okay? Now I'm going to use some of my Chef Lorious house seasoning and Chef Lorious seasoned pepper. There will be links to this as well around. And all I do is season it. Now, the interesting thing about cooking with the crock pot is when you leave the food in the crock pot for a long time, but when you leave the seasonings in there, sometimes they really start losing their potency in the crock pot. So I season my meat first, like this, and then I'll go back and add the herbs and some more seasoning towards the end of the process. There, okay? See that? Rub it in just like this. I'm going to put this piece of meat into the crock pot for a few hours, okay? And then I'm going to come back after it's cooked down. You do not have to put any extra liquid in it yet. There will be enough liquid produced just from the fat that's in this beef. And we'll let it cook in that for a little bit, and then we'll come back in a couple hours and we'll add our cut up vegetables and our cooking wine and our broth, okay? So just like this, see how our meat is nicely seasoned? I'm going to take it. Make sure you pat everything in and put it right in the crock pot. I'm going to put it in just like this for a few hours. All right, guys, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, here we are. It's been 2 hours. I've had this meat in the crock pot on high. Now I'm going to open it up and show you what it looks like, and you'll see why I didn't put any liquid in it early. There, can you see that? See how good and juicy that looks? That's just the fat from the meat itself is giving it the flavor you want. Now to this we're going to add some vegetables. I have cut up some potatoes, red potatoes, into small cubes like this. You want them to be relatively uniform in size because you want the cooking time to be consistent. So we're going to put some potatoes in here, okay? And then I'm going to also add some onions. I have sliced up some onions. Just simple slicing, okay? And when you put them in, don't worry, everything's gonna fall apart as it cooks in the slow cooker, okay? I also have in here some baby bella mushrooms that came sliced, okay? And some carrots. This is going to be so delicious, hearty, and filling. Now I'm putting these vegetables in there, see here? And I'm getting about halfway. Then I'm going to put in my herbs. I've got some parsley. See there? Put on there. A tablespoon of parsley and a tablespoon of basil. Okay? And also I'm going to add a little bit more of our house seasoning as well. And here I have some beef broth that I've put together. I use Better Than Bouillon. I have 3 cups of beef broth here. I'm just going to start pouring this over. Just like that. Now I like to go in halfway and do this, and then I go back and put in the rest of my vegetables. After we get everything in here, we're going to leave this on high for another 2 hours or so until these vegetables get nice and soft. I also want you to notice that I'm using petite vegetables, petite carrots. You can use the thicker carrots, just remember that that's going to affect your cooking time. So just keep in mind when you're picking your vegetables, what size vegetables you pick will definitely impact how long it takes them to cook. Okay, I'm gonna dump the rest of this in there. This is gonna be so good. This is like perfect fall, cold day food. We're gonna put some more parsley in there. Again, like I told you, don't be afraid of seasoning. Some people say, oh, that's too much. It's never too much, okay? Trust me, you'll be fine. And there's potatoes in here, so if it is too much, it'll be okay. And herbs, the best part about herbs is it's a very healthy way to season your food without adding a lot of sodium to it because the herbs are so flavorful. Okay, we've got that. Now we're gonna take some red cooking wine. I'm gonna pour some red cooking wine in this, and the red cooking wine and the beef broth together are going to make a delicious broth for this stew. Oh, it smells so good. I've poured the entire bottle of red cooking wine in there, okay? And that is 16 ounces, and I'm gonna pour the rest of this beef broth, or a little bit more of it, just to top it off. And this is going to cook up wonderfully, guys. See, don't be afraid to fill your crock pot up. See there? Just like that. Oh, this looks delicious. Now we're gonna cover this baby back up. And she's going back under on high, and we'll check back in a few more hours. Now our soup has been in here for a few more hours. I've taken the meat out. See this beautiful piece of pot roast we have here. This is why I like to use pot roast. I do come in now and cut the meat up. It does fall very much apart. See how tender this is falling apart? I do it like this because I really want to get this fat that's in here all in my soup. Now, granted, you can absolutely just buy chunks of beef that are already cut up for stew meat, but you won't have the same fat in there that I just think does a lot for the flavor. And we're back. Our soup is done. Look at this. It's absolutely delicious. See that? That is just, I mean, just a pot full of goodness. Total cook time on this was about 6 hours, but the beauty of these is it takes all day. You can actually put it on before you go to work in the morning and just let it cook all day, and the house will smell wonderfully. Now, I'm excited to see what Christy cooked up over on her channel. Don't forget to go check out Christy's Home Cooking. Oh, this looks delicious. Oh, I can't wait to taste this, guys. Look, see these pieces of beef in here? See, this is why I like to cut my pot roast up. Let's see. It's too hot. I'm just gonna take some broth. Oh, that's delicious. You guys, this is so good. This feels like fall and winter all in a bowl. So, thanks for joining me today for Calabama Cooking. I hope you'll try this. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Give me some comments. Tell me what you think. I love to hear about what's going on with you. Again, don't forget to check out Christy's cooking channel. There's a link on here somewhere. Be sure to go and subscribe and let them know you're from Team Calabama. Okay, it's cooled off a little bit. Perfect. I have to go. There's a bowl of soup with my name on it. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Happy cooking.